Well, we begin with a big traffic alert for you. The westbound lanes on Interstate 40 east of Cardinal are closed this morning.
It's all because of a very bad crash that happened overnight that we know sent at least a few people to the hospital. News 13's David Romero was live out on I40 with more. So David, from what you know, how big is the backup right now?
Well, Matt, as you could have seen by those cameras, the traffic cameras along I-40 showing the westbound lanes, it looks like there's a long line of traffic building up on the interstate. We spoke just a few moments ago with Sergeant Aaron Williamson from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department. He told us that the freeway is likely to stay closed for another couple of hours. Now, that accident took place about 3 miles east of where we are at. We are at Tramway and Central right now on the on-ramp, just before you get to eastbound I-40. Now, the westbound lanes are where everything took place at. According to Sergeant Williamson, they received at least one phone call from a driver reporting that there was a wrong-way driver on the interstate. Now, the crash happened near Carnuel and the westbound lanes of I-40. We do know that one person was transported via the airlift helicopter and one person at least by ambulance on ground. That person that was taken by helicopter was listed with life-threatening conditions. They're Category 1 as they call it, and that means that they are very serious at this point. Now, it's unclear as to what factors may have been involved in this crash, but according to the Sheriff's Department, they said that they did receive at least one call of a wrong-way driver in the westbound lanes of I-40. Now, again, traffic is expected to be backed up for a while they complete their investigation. So if you're going to be traveling, coming into Albuquerque on I-40, you're going to be getting off at the Cedar Crest exit, and then you will take Old Highway 66 back into town, where you should rejoin it over here around Central and carry on from I-40 on into town. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you for that important information this morning, David. Again, investigators told him that it looks like the interstate westbound I-40 in Tijeras can be shut down for at least a couple hours. Right now, investigators have not said how this crash happened. Of course, David's going to stay out there. We'll keep you updated as we get more information.
Gay marriage, the debate there is now on its way to the New Mexico Attorney General.
Yeah, he is supposed to weigh in on this issue within the next 5 days. And this is after Santa Fe City Council passed a resolution encouraging county clerks to issue same-sex marriage licenses last night. The meeting, as you can see, was packed. It even overflowed into the hallway. In the end, 5 councilors voted for the resolution. 1 voted against it. 2 of them were not there. Now, before the meeting started outside, Knights of Columbus and other Catholics prayed.
We're up to stand against it. You know, for one, I've been married to my wife for 50 years, and I grew up here in Santa Fe, and marriage has always been sacred to me, and I can't understand how we got where we are, you know.
As a matter of equal rights, then it's already legal. Let's stop arguing about it. Let's just move on and give everybody in New Mexico the freedom to marry whom they would love to marry.
Remember earlier this year, Santa Fe City Attorney said gay marriage should be legal here because the law doesn't specifically say that marriage is between a man and a woman. We'll let you know what happens with this. A petition going around Grant right now is calling for a high school teacher there to be out of the classroom.
Students are saying that he left a pregnant student in the hallway when she needed help. Kaylee Brunson had a miscarriage in a hallway at Grants High School last Friday. Now, when she knocked on the band teacher's door, which was locked, students say the teacher, Bill Greiner, refused to answer. That is school policy if the bell has already rung.
They want student safety, but yet, you know, a girl could have died in the hallway, you know, and he didn't even have the decency to open the door to see what was going on, what was happening.
Does it concern you that this girl could have died out in this hallway?
It concerns everyone, ma'am. It concerns me when we have high school students that fail to go to the proper people that could provide them the best medical attention that anyone could get.
Now, the superintendent says Kaylee should have gone to the nurse's office for help. Instead, she passed the office, they say, and she went to the bathroom. He did not talk specifically about what the band teacher did or didn't do. Kaylee ended up going to the emergency room later that day. One of her friends created a petition to get the teacher to quit. It already has more than 500 signatures. A former Artesia High School football star has been sentenced to 18 years in prison for the death of his baby girl. In 2007, Robert Flores put his 4-month-old in a laundry basket in a closet for hours while he went to go buy some beer. The baby's mother found her hours later. Flores was found guilty back in February of child abuse resulting in death. Another match in court today for the high school wrestling star accused of roughing up and bullying a younger teammate at Rio Grande High School. Nick Chavez caught a big break in court about 2 weeks ago when no one showed up, not the deputy, nor the victim or the witnesses, for the hearing. So the judge had no choice but to drop the felony and battery charges he faced. But the sheriff's department has now refiled those charges, and Chavez is due back in court later today.
A brush fire that threatened several buildings yesterday is pretty much out right now. The Shetland fire broke out on private property here in Moriarty just about 5 and burned between 10 and 15 acres. A state forestry spokesman tells us he wasn't aware that any buildings actually burned. Firefighters spent the night mopping up hot spots. They have not said how that fire started. Police now say it looks like the man who ended up on the Sunports property this week was simply lost and disoriented. Just before 7:30 Tuesday night, aviation police say this man, Robert Mondragon, ended up on the UPS cargo area right underneath a plane. We're told that Mondragon got there by going through a drainage system. UPS called police and they arrested him on criminal trespassing charges. Police do not think Mondragon wanted to hurt anybody, but he did have a knife on him. Well, it is one of those problems that is nice to have. I certainly wouldn't mind having it.
Right. The city of Albuquerque is trying to figure out how to spend more than $5 million it didn't expect having. The money came from penalty payments made by Schott Solar after the company shut down its plant in Albuquerque last summer. The city recruited the German company and sweetened the deal with incentives. The cash was part of an agreement in the contract that allowed the city to get back the money it invested if the company pulled out. Now, rather than putting the money back in the general fund, a separate fund was created so the money could be used to recruit new businesses to the Duke City. It's now the responsibility of a 5-person member committee to decide how to best spend the money.
There's a great sense of responsibility how we spend the money, and that's why we set up the board the way we did to approve the use of the money.
The city's economic development director says most of the money will likely go toward promoting the city as a good place to do business.
Wish I had an extra $5 million bucks.
Right?
It would be nice.